Well, hey, my lovelies, and welcome to another episode with your girl, sore as I don't know what, Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. Yeah, trying to pretend that I'm young and wanted to go for a run. What was I thinking? All right. So, all of a sudden, I caught a cramp that I think was the worst cramp I've ever had in my entire life. But here we are. I'm here for you. So what we're going to be working on today, it's going to actually be a quick live. We're going to be talking about factoring those special products. So I'm going to see if I can scoop this bad boy in and then see if I can zoom on in, or at least trying to finagle a little bit. So those special products that we have when you're factoring, you have like your difference of squares, which we actually see in a couple examples of that. We also have the perfect squares, we have the sum of cubes, and the difference of cubes. Now, if you notice, when it came to the squares, we didn't have the sum of squares. Well, the reason why you don't see sum of squares, because that's prime. Okay, you're not going to be able to break down as simple. You'll be able to do distributive property, but it's not giving you a special product when you are factoring it. So, if anything, go ahead and copy down right here and tap it on up, because we are going to be here for probably a maximum of 50 minutes. Yes. We're getting right down to the nitty of the gritty, okay? So if you're coming on in, come on in. If you're going to share the live, share the live. Because you don't know what kind of craziness is going to come out my mouth. But at the same time, we're going to learn some stuff. So all you trolls might as well come on in, hurry up and get it over and done with, and then leave on out. Continue on with your day. But for those that are serious about passing not only their current class, if they're taking college algebra or if they're taking any of the immediate algebra courses and you need assistance, this one is the live for you, as well as you need to reach out to me and talk about tutoring. I know I did this last night. I was on 10 and all of a sudden I got 5 different leads about tutoring today. All right, and if I got 5 leads off of one live, me going crazy, I know for sure there's more of you that's still like, I know I need it, but there's no buts. If you want to pass that course, and I know I have one person, I was like, okay, what are we working on? She gave me like 20 pages of work. I'm like, baby, we only got an hour. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we're going to work together. All right. Okay, let me slide over a little bit because this is actually all of the Zoom. All right, hold on. We're going to go on a little field trip. Ready? And slide and over. Let's see if that works a little bit. Oh, I think that might work a little bit more. There we go. Hey, Robert, how are you? And then there you go, Janice. Is that better? A little bit better? Okay. So you're taking your T-test soon? All right, Sin, let's go. Let's see if you need to reach out to me so we can work on a couple things, please, let's do that. All right, well, thank you, Sim Squared. Sim. All right, not a problem. All right, so let's take a look at each and every one of these. So if I am taking a look, when I say the difference of squares, I'm going to try to keep with the same color palette because it'll be a little bit easier for you guys to identify. So when I'm talking about the difference of squares, easiest one, let's say r squared minus 16. Now, when we're taking a look at our A's and our B's. So when we're talking about squares, we're talking about 1 times 1. Okay, 2 times 2, which gives me 4. 3 times 3, which gives me 9. 4 times 4, which gives me 16. 5 times 5, which gives me 25. So it's a number times itself. That's what's called a perfect square because both numbers are the same and it gives me a nice result. Okay? Now, in order for me to factor this out, let me go like this, because I know this is why I felt like the AC method works so well. My leading coefficient is 1, so I can go ahead and split my r's. Now I can think of it this way. Ready? What two numbers multiplied together will give me a negative 16 and add together to give me 0? Because you notice when we do this, we don't have an r. So we didn't need that 0r to put as a placeholder. Okay? When the r is not there, that means the coefficient of that r is 0. So if we think of it this way, all right, two numbers to give me 16. I got 4 and 4. But to give me a negative 16, that means one of them has to be positive and the other one has to be negative. Okay? So I have my difference, because it's subtraction, of squares, because 4 squared gives me 16. The coefficient of that r squared is a 1. And remember, r squared, that's a square too, because it's r times r. So we're doing difference because it's subtraction. And the reason why we say of squares is because my r squared is a square and my 16 is also a square. Okay. Good afternoon. So now, perfect. I'm so glad that this person did this. It looks like a tree, but I'm not sure what it is. Or it could be a Spawn's mask. Something. You said r minus 4 squared. That's when we gotta be careful. Okay, because I know a lot of people will say that. It's not r minus 4 squared, because both of them are not subtraction. Okay, that's the trap that will give them. So if you had a question like this, trust me, that r minus 4 squared will be one of the options on any test. It doesn't matter, GED, ASVAB, a regular Algebra 1 test or Algebra 2, they will always put that there. When you have a difference of squares, one has to be positive and the other one has to be negative. Okay? All right? So this is your actual answer. The key part is to know your perfect squares, okay? Knowing that multiplication. All right, so okay, I can just do it like this. Let's go with another one. So let's say 4x squared minus 1. Okay. I gotta raise it up so I can see a little bit. So 4x squared minus 1. Okay. Hello, Jacinda. How are you? Okay. What do we got? So Kayla is saying 2x minus 1 and 2x plus 1. Forgotten. Well, John, it's been 20 years, babe. It's perfectly fine. But see, here's the thing. Now you can appreciate it. When you were younger, you probably wasn't appreciating it. That's fine. Because you're just like, I'm a kid. There's certain things and certain needs that I have. Your blood pressure is rising. Well, you're excited. Go ahead, girl. I love that. But don't have a stroke because I can't save you. Okay? All right. Keep breathing. All right. So, okay, I'm doing all right. So now here we go. We have 4x squared minus 1. 4, if I did the square root of 4, if I did the square root of x squared and I did the square root of 1, I will get a whole answer out of it. Think about it. Two numbers multiplied to give me 4. That's a perfect square, which gives me 2 and 2. Okay? Two variables that will give me x squared. Well, that's easy. I will be my x and my x. Now, two numbers to give me 1. Oh, here we go. We got 1 and 1. But here's the thing. It's a -1. So that means 1 has to be positive and 1 has to be negative. Now, if you said 2x minus 1 times 2x plus 1, that's fine too. As long as you understand that one of them has to be positive and the other one has to be negative, this is your answer. Yep, okay, good. Yep. All right, so see the comment. I love how people come on here crying. It's okay. We're going to break it all down. All right. So, playing devil's advocate for this one. Gonna see if I can do 2 more. You're probably gonna be like, "Oh, Audrey, why?" Let's say 16x to the 4th. Why does everybody always want to challenge me? Don't y'all have time on your hands? Minus y to the 4th. Wait, what is this, Audrey? What's happening? So we have 16x to the 4th minus y to the 4th. All right, you're not freaking out. Deep breaths. Okay. You've been so long. Oh, that's okay. Oh, well, welcome. All right. So now we have 16x to the 4th, y to the 4th. Now, my exponents are even. We have 16 as a coefficient, and we have a -1 as a coefficient. So this is very similar to what we just did. But instead of squares, okay, we're dealing with the 4th powers. But here's the thing. If I take the square root of 16, okay, what 2 numbers multiplied together will give me 16? Okay, put that in the chat. 2 numbers multiplied together to give me 16. There you go, Janice. Good. Okay. Hey, Ohio. Does the 4th power change in the answer? It does, and I'm going to show you. Good, Mario. Good, Jess. Ashley. Oh, good. Perfect. Cooks. Yes. Jay. Yes. Christian. Yes. Yes. MC. Yes. Okay. All right. Yo, big head like, yo. Yes. Ghost. Yes. Welcome on in. So let's split that 16 like you're saying. Let's go with the positives. All right. Okay. So we split that 16 with 4 and 4. So if we could split the 16 with 4 and 4, couldn't we split that x to the 4th? What would that be? And what would that be if I tried to split? What would be half of x to the 4th? Yes, good. X squared, good. Hey, Jess, x squared. Ashley, x squared. Yes, Zap, x squared. Ohio, yes, x squared. J, x squared. 2, yes. God bless MC, x squared. Perfect, x squared. 2, yes. So we're going to have this x squared, x squared. Can we do the same thing with y to the 4th? On both sides? There you go. Oh, excuse me. Oh, yes. Yes, we can. Good. Yes, we can. So let's change it. This will be y to the 2nd. Y to the 2nd. So, but it's going to be a negative Thank you. It's going to be a negative, so that means one's going to be positive and one's going to be negative. What do you notice? Yeah. What did he notice? We can refactor, okay? We got a difference of squares. Yes, Jennifer, okay? Yes. This is the sum of squares. Remember, we can't do that. That's not going to break down for us. So this, we're going to keep it. So like I like to say, let's just kind of hide it away. Then let's focus on this second parenthesis. The fourth power changed by half. Exactly. All right. So now we got the difference of squares again. This can be broken down. What do you think that this can be broken down to? Put that in the chat. What do you think that 4x squared minus y squared can be broken down to? Is that Wolvie? Is saying 2x minus y and 2x plus y goes to saying 2x squared. Okay, not the squared ghost, not the squared. Cut that in half. Okay, Queen is saying 2x minus y. Okay, that's for 1. What's the other one, Queen? Come on, Queen, put that crown. Pug is saying 2x minus y and 2x plus y. Mrs. Wells is saying 2x plus y, 2x minus y. Okay, there we go, Drea. 2x minus y. Let me get the other one. All right, thank you for the follow. And there you go. There you go, Drea. It's that 2x plus y. There you go. All right. You got this. You got this, guys. You got this. There you go. Hey, Kaya, how are you? All right, there we go, There it is. Yep, I know this is supposed to be an X instead of the thing. I got you. Good. Hey, Leanne. Yay. I know your schedule is always tight, but I appreciate when you come in. Good job, guys. Good. So we're splitting our 4s. That gives me 2 and a 2. Split my x squares. We got an x and an x. Split my y's. We got a y and a y. But since it's a negative y, one's going to be positive, one's going to be negative. So what do I do with this? Okay. All right. Did you get... Oh, Leanne. Queen, girl. Queen, queen, queen. Yeah, I'm here for you. So now this, since it can't be broken down, and the reason why I say it can't be broken down is you're not going to get something quick and easy like this. You're actually going to have a trinomial when you break it down. That's why. So if we can't break it down, just like in life, we bring it down. All right. So this is your entire answer. Okay. So something like this, you went from, I want to say, Algebra 1 to Algebra 2 with that type of problem. But you notice you carried it over. Okay? All right. So that's the difference of squares. Like once you can identify, and I want you to do this problem, and then we'll worry about the whole tapping situation because you know there's over 250 people in here. 11K? Come on. Don't be stingy with your love. So if I say 9x squared minus 49. I want you to do this one. Do it and tap. Let me see all my multitasking people out there. Yeah, we should be up to like at least 20 by now. Like, for real, for real. I know, I seem like I'm a little aggressive lately. But I'm not on a 10 like I was yesterday. But trust me, the cutthroat is still here. Because you guys are getting quality stuff. Okay. Gotta put your answers in the chat and let's tap it up. Let's try to get up to 20. Let's try to get it to 20. And it has to be a quick tap because remember, guys, I mean, literally we have roughly a half an hour. Because I definitely want to get to things. Okay, mad tap, mad tap, mad tap. Here we go. Seeing some really good answers. There's roughly 200 of us in here. This is awesome. I'm loving this. Okay, Barbitch, I'm going to show you one more time. Okay, good job, guys. Very nicely done. All right, 4,000 more. Let's go. Mad tap, mad tap, mad tap, mad tap. Okay. And if you know of anyone that needs help, they're thinking about getting their GED, they're currently in a class, they're constantly talking to you saying, girl, I can't take this no more. I'm about to quit. Just tell them to come on in. Just tell them to come on in. Okay, almost there. Alexis say I'm taking math now in school. I need help bad. Alexis, do not keep it to yourself. Go ahead and message me. Okay? You find my picture, you click on it, and just send me a message. Okay? I was like, do I do praxis tutoring? I'm tutoring 3 people right now for praxis. That's one of the reasons why I gotta leave early. Because I'm helping one person and then I have another. So let's go. Okay? It gets better. It gets better? It does. Yeah. Not a problem. Not a problem. Let's go. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's go. Perfect squares. Here we go. Again, like I said, I'm going to try to keep the color palette so it's easy for you guys to follow along. So we have 25p squared minus 10p plus 1. Now, we're working on perfect squares. So if you notice the formula for perfect squares right here in the blue, we have a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And what's going to happen, so we're going to have like close to the same signage when it comes to like the perfect squares. So we have our a plus our b squared. So if we take a look, if I do my square root of my 25, so if I split it, square root of 25, that will give me 5. So I have 5 here, and I have a 5 here. Square root of p squared, that means I'm splitting up my p's. I have 1p there, and 1p there. The reason why I say I have 1p, because the square root of p squared, squares and square roots, they're inverses of each other. So they basically cancel each other out, right? Now, on the end, I have a 1. So that means there's 1 there and 1 there. So we're trying to get our signage. This is what happens. And everybody's like, oh, I don't know what to do. So you're basically looking for the numbers on the ends to see if they're perfect squares, which they are. But we want to make sure we get the right signage that will give us this middle term. This is how I like to do it. I like to multiply the middle, and I like to multiply the ends. So when I multiply the middle, I got 1 and 5p, that gives me 5p. Multiply the ends. I got 5p and 1, that also gives me 5p. But I know I need a negative 10, because if I add it just as is, this will give me, that 5p plus 5p, that will give me 10p. And I need negatives, right? So that means I need for this to be a negative and this to be a negative. And what will make that work so well will be to make both of my ones negative. This is why. A negative times a negative gives me a positive. Same. So when I add these two together, a negative plus a negative, that stays negative, and I bring down its p. So now it's matching. Okay? Now it's matching. Take a look at my parentheses. They're exactly the same. So my final answer for this one is going to be 5p minus 1. Now, as Spawn did it earlier, now we can square it. Okay? Now we can square it. The lag is real. Oh. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'll flow through it again. All right. No lag there. Okay, not lagging for you. It skipped. Okay, skip to the loo. What's going on? All right, so let me go through it again. First, I noticed that 25p squared, that's a perfect square. The square root of 25 is 5, so I split my 5's up, and I split my p's up. The one on the end is a 1. 1 is a perfect square as well, so I split my 1's up, because 1 times 1 gives me 1. But we need to figure out that middle term. So what I did was multiply the center, multiply the ends. So I can kind of get an idea, all right, 5 plus 5 gave me 10p, but we need a minus 10p. So that means my signage can't be positive, it needs to be negative, because a negative plus a negative gives me a negative, okay? When the signs are the same and you're adding, you keep the signage, okay, which is the negative. So that means in order for me to change those to negative, I need to make that into a negative 1 and make that into a negative 1. So now I look at my parentheses. My parentheses are exactly the same. So that means I can also write it as 5p minus 1 squared. Okay. All right. So that's what we're doing. Okay. So let's try another one. All right. So we got 4x squared minus 20xy plus 25y squared. Okay, And let me unzoom so you can see the previous work, so you can use that as a guide. Because that's how I know how to do it, Sid. I know. Okay. All right, so let's take a look. All right, look on the ends. So we got 4x squared and we got 25y squared. 4 and 25, they're both square roots, perfect squares. So right away, I can split things up. Okay, split my 4s. That should give me 2s. Split my x's. That should give me x. All right. Now, split my 25. That's a perfect square. Good. And my y's. So that gives me 5y. 5y. So this is a positive 25, but the center we want is a negative 20. What do you think the signage would be? Okay, home. Okay, 1 minus and 1 plus. Okay, we're saying negative. They're saying negative for both. We're saying negative for both. Negative positive. We're saying negative for both. Good, Sid. All right, so we're going to say negative because we need a negative 20xy. If I make one positive and one negative, they're going to cancel out and give me 0. Seriously. So that would be like a negative 10 and a positive 10. So that will cancel out. But that's not what's happening. We actually have a middle term. So we can check it. Multiply those two. So you got your negative 10xy. Then you multiply these two. You get a negative 10xy. And when you add those two together, negative 10xy plus negative 10xy, that will give me my negative 20xy. So that means, as some of you guys have, the parentheses are exactly the same. So if they're exactly the same, you got 2x minus 5y squared. I forgot to box my answers. Okay. Okay. Okay, but you're here, which is awesome. All right. Well, thank you. I don't even know what your name is. I'm afraid I might say your name and I'll get transported into another dimension. But thank you. Mike? Oh. How you get... Oh, all right, I see it. Okay. It's okay. There's a couple of people that are having problems with it as well. Okay? So we're going. Step by step. All right, so let's see. Let's do another with the perfects. Let's stick with the squares for today. And then tomorrow, I'll do the cubes. Because I don't want to be like, all right, here's a whole bunch of stuff. Let me overwhelm you. Because you get that every day. Who needs another thing to overwhelm? Not me. Not me. Okay. Oh, thanks. All right. So let's switch over. Right? No one does. No one wants that. So I rather like say, all right, let me hold to the cubes until tomorrow because what else we gotta do? So let me see if I can find it. All right, we can do this. Now this one, you'll probably be able to recognize it. So we have x squared plus 6x plus 9. Okay. He's 12. Yeah. Well, that's the one thing. If you ever need any of my replays, you can go here. All my replays are here. I can't say the word, but all my replays are here. Okay. Oh, I got scared, Kaya, for a second. I'm like, whoa. Okay, we're back. We're back. Just a shift in blood pressure. Just this little shift. I'm all right now. I was like, I thought she was with me. Yes, Ohio. You can say it that way, but you also can clean it up a little bit if you want. All right, Caitlin, good. All right, perfect. All right. Okay. All right, Ashley. I see you. Nice. Now, we could solve this one of a couple ways. We've talked about another way like this. But if we continue on with the theme, what's in front of my x squared is assumed to be a 1. Okay? And then we have the x squared, so we got perfect square here. On the end, we have a 9. That's a perfect square there as well. So I can go right into splitting my 1s. If I want to put the 1s, splitting my x's. So I got my x here and my x here. And the square root of 9, that's a perfect square. So that gives me 3 and 3. But since that's positive and that's positive, we want to see if they're both going to be positive. And if you ever want to check, you can come right here. Multiply those. 3 times 1 gives me 3x. Then we can multiply these two. 3 times 1, that also gives me 3x. And if I add those two together, I will get 6x. And that's exactly what my middle term is. Notice inside the parentheses, they're perfectly the same. So, same everything. So you can say x plus 3 squared. Okay. You remember this? There you go, Sharper. All right. All right. 30 years later. That's all right. Better late than never. All right. So, if we have, and then again, you can also do it using the AC method. All right, give me the answer to this one. Yeah, I forgot I'm not using K's anymore. So that was weird. Oh. All right. Hey, Lynette. How are you? Okay. You're not done yet? Nope. I'm so glad that you're worried so much about me. Working on mazes? Yeah. I've been working on mine. Starting to get disgruntled, but be all right. It's going to work out. At math, I don't even know how I passed in high school. I could never do the square. Okay. Never understood. Okay. Yeah. Why don't I do the delta math? Because I'm not in delta. Sorry. I was like, why should I have to do their delta method? Why do I need to do that? Okay, good. Okay. So what is this called? These are different. So we did, this is the perfect square. The previous one that we did was the difference of squares. And since I'm going to have to end this live a lot earlier than we usually do, I'm going to save the sum and the difference of cubes till tomorrow. Okay. Oh, well, thanks. I faked the funk. Delta Airlines was so good. All right. Okay, good, West Africa. Good, Caitlin. Good job, guys. Okay. I am going live tonight, but remember we had to finish up with dividing polynomials. Yeah. I stay true to my word as best I can. All right, so like we all know, and I keep saying, there's multiple ways, okay? So I know I can split my x's, and I recognize that 4 is a perfect square. So if I can look at what will give me 4, well, that would be 2 and 2. That's a positive 4, but my middle term is a negative 4. So if you haven't noticed, especially from the last ones, when the end term was positive and the middle term was negative, we always have negatives. But when they're both positive, that means both of them are going to be positive. Have you guys noticed that? Okay. It's not going to be positive, negative. Both of them are going to be negative. Because a negative times a negative gives me this positive. And a negative plus a negative stays negative. All right. So if that end one is positive and the center is negative, both of them are going to be negative. If both of them are positive, that means both of your parentheses are going to be positive. Now, if they flip the script and say this was negative and this was positive, and you're doing factoring, that means one of them is going to be positive and the other one's going to be negative. Okay? So since they're both the same, if you want to check it, you can by multiplying the centers. So that gives me a negative 2x. Multiplying the ends, that gives me a negative 2x. Negative 2x plus negative 2x will give me my negative 4x. So we match up. Yay! So since they're exactly the same, it's going to be x minus 2 squared. Okay. So this is algebra. Okay, so this is definitely algebra. All right, not a problem. And I think I did message you today, I'm sorry. I just wanted to know when you want to get started. Okay, if you want to do any type of engineering, get good at this. Thank you. Yeah, especially in your head. I'm telling you guys, like, all right, this is going to be my last moment here. So if we can get to 50K, that'll be great because I'm going to have to skedaddle on a few. So how often do I go live? I go live now. It's during the week, except for Fridays, except for like the whole weekend thing, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I go live twice a day. Monday, 1 o'clock, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and then 9:30 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. Fridays is at 1 o'clock, Saturday and Sunday at 7 o'clock. If you need the schedule, because I just rambled on through all that, it's actually pinned in my profile. So if you go to my profile, boom, it's pinned there. All right. For 10th grade math, it will. Okay. All right, do I ASVAB tutoring? Yes, I do. I had a couple people that actually raised their score quite a bit. But here's the thing, guys. Just because you're getting, if you want tutoring, and I'm going to be very real with you if you haven't figured it out yet. If you want tutoring, just because you got a tutor doesn't mean you're automatically going to get an A in the class. Same thing with just because you go to coach class or you seek help with your professor doesn't mean all of a sudden you're going to get an A in the class. You're going to have to put some effort into it. You're going to have to, if you're not strong with your multiplication facts, you're going to need to get associated with your multiplication facts. If you can do multiplying, that means you can reduce fractions, you can add fractions, you can do stuff with decimals, you can do so much just by knowing your multiplication as well as the rules of integers. So that's the main reason why you're taking it next week. All right. So if anything, definitely reach out to me. Okay. I see you. You're right there, Hayden. I love when they're like, did you see me? Did you see me? I saw all 5 of them. Still doing it. Okay. Haitian, black, I see you. All right. So if do I have any tips for probability and statistics? I do. Okay. This is the reason why I structured this notebook. I designed this notebook because I wanted to have students put their formulas here. Since the formulas were a little bit big, I extended it out to here. But sometimes you can actually put some of the formulas. This is my second book, or book number 5, actually. You could put your formulas in one section and then your steps in another section. And then you have sections enough to do your examples. It's a lot cleaner. Especially you can do a mood tracker, how you're feeling before, during, and after the lives. And even you can use it for your classroom if you're a classroom student. Now, besides having all these lovely pages to fill with notes, we also have a resource page. Now, if you had trouble identifying your factors, guess what? I have a factor sheet. This factor sheets go from 1 to 200 because this book is supposed to be designed for those in 7th grade all the way up to adults. Okay, so we're dealing with the algebra 2. Okay, a little bit of trig, a little bit of everything else. If you notice, the things that are in blue, those are my perfect squares. Things in yellow, they are prime. The only factors is 1 in itself. And I can help you with breaking down radicals, breaking down factors. All that's here. In addition, if you can't remember your rules for integers, boom, I got you right here. Adding with examples, subtracting with examples, multiplying and dividing, keeping those rules down. Order of operation in the U.S. and international. Also, we have the exponents, trying to keep those things together. Then on the other side, we got linear and quadratics, all those rules. Remember slope, rate of change, equation on the line, point slope form. Yes, instead of you trying to cram it all in your brain, you got it in the back of the blessed book. Then you got the properties of quadrilaterals, because sometimes they give us designs and you have to be able to translate it from the design to the equations. Okay, properties of transformation, as well as area and perimeter, trying to get those things done. Volume and surface area. Unit circle, yes, especially for those that's going in pre-calculus or even calc, you're going to see this. Even Robert can attest to that. And then we have the Pythagorean theorem and the SOHCAHTOA. And as you advance up a little bit, we're going to have the identities, the trig identities. So all that wrapped up in one, okay? There's no other book like this out there, okay? So different types, different folks. If you actually like my notes, maybe you just want to keep my notes, well, guess what? You can do that. I got something called Audrey's Notes, where I take all my notes. Oh, anyway, book 4 is out and about. So if you want to take a look, these are copies of all of my notes that I have done here on TikTok since February 2nd. And if you notice, at the bottom, at the bottom of most areas is a QR code. If you scan this QR code, it will take you directly to the live that's connected to these notes. And you can follow along. It's less than the price of tutoring, okay? But again, you're going to have to sit still and go through the videos. You can fast forward, you can rewind, you can pause, okay? So by having these different topics, because it doesn't have it's not concise, okay? There's a little bit of random, there's a little bit of probability, there's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But all I know, it makes a nice, delicious gumbo, okay? All right. Do I sleep? No, I don't. I'm working on 2 hours of sleep right now. Actually, I went to bed at 9:30 this morning, and I woke up like 11:30 because I have a Charlie horse. And then be on the lookout. I'm going to start. This is the things I'm working on right now. I'm working on a left-handed because I know my lefties. I wish you had a book for you. I got you. I'm on the process of working that out. All right. So now, if you need the assistance, do not hesitate. Okay. This is going to be my final push because I'm going to have to skedaddle on a few. All right. So 1. My replays. Give me some time for this replay because sometimes TikTok takes a while to download, okay? But my stuff from last night up to last night is completely here. Go here. It's a free subscription. I'm not bougie yet, so let's go. Now, if you like the books, this is where you go right there. If you need help, and I'm telling you, ASVAB, GED, AccuPlacer, T's test, anything that has to deal with algebra, okay? Statistics is not my jam, but Robert, the AP math guy, that's his jam. So, and he's actually going to go live 3 o'clock this afternoon. So if you want to join in and you like doing calculus and everything, go ahead and join in with him. But if you need tutoring, I also do small group tutoring. If you're thinking of the math notebooks, if you need a self-paced courses for GED, ASVAB, AccuPlacer, even foundational math. If you got someone that just graduated 8th grade that's going into high school math and they need help with their summer reading, don't wait until the day before you're about to start school. Let's get it over and done with so you can enjoy the rest of the summer. Reach out to me. That's the only way that you can get the assistance, okay? You really need the book, go ahead and order it, all right? So if you want to, you can go here. Let me zoom up, which is actually, if you click on my profile, you click on my picture, you'll see this, okay? I am the most patient person, so here's my thing, Sasha. We can try it. I have in the past taught students who are autistic and ADHD, and we just take it step by step. So if you want, we can try one session out to see if that works for your child or for you. Let's go. All right. Okay, you have dyscalculia? Yes. Will be good to start with. If anything, if you want something that's going to be step by step, Audrey's Notes will work. Okay? But if you want to, before you purchase it, and I'm going to be truthful, because this is me, I'm very transparent. Take a look. Go here first. Take a look at some of the videos to see if that's going to be the pace that's going to help. Okay? I'm a firm believer. I love what I do, and I love breaking stuff down, but I'm not here just to take money from people and say bye-bye. All right? So we can take it from there, okay? All right. That's awesome. Let's go. All right. So the only way that this is going to happen, you guys got to reach out. Okay? You have to reach out. Don't sit there and say, oh, I need help. Right? I'm right here. Hi. I'm right here to help you. Okay? All right. So before I end this live, you guys go ahead, hit my profile, do all the likes, do everything here. I love it. 56. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay? So I will have to skedaddle. But again, I will be here tonight at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be working on dividing polynomial. If that is your thing, come on in. If it's not your thing, but you're like, I kind of like this crazy lady, come on in. If it's something that like, well, is it going to be on the GED? Yes. Is it going to be on the ASVAB? Yes. Is it going to be on T's test? Yes. And the reason why I'm showing you that, because GED, that's a 4-point question. All right? Okay, that's a 4-point question. So you want to shoot for as many of those 4-point questions and then work with all the basic arithmetic as you can. Baby, you'll pass that GED, hands down. And then for the ASVAB, remember, it's a progression. And we want to get past that 31. And if you start seeing slope, equation of the lines, and dividing polynomials, that means, baby, you're above that 31. You're like in the 40s next to the 50s, okay? Basically, the early 50s. And remember, the higher score, the better opportunities you're going to get. But I only want people that want to work. If you just want to sit there like, ooh, I got a tutor, I'm going to be doing so amazing. Go ahead and keep it moving, boo-boo, because you got to get some work done. All right? Okay? I love you. All right? Make sure you want to check me out. If you can't check me out tonight, I'll be here again. We're doing the sum and the difference of cubes tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right? Okay, my lovelies. Have a great day. Not a problem. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Love you.